ladies and gentlemen, like we do at the end of every month, once the pay-per-view is passed, the last week of the month is dedicated to this man over here deciding who were the top 5 most impressive wrestlers, divas, managers maybe?
Yeah.
Who were the most impressive people, the top 5 most impressive people of February 2015?
Yeah, and for clarity's sake, impressive is a very loose term here.
It's whoever he really likes.
It's who I liked for whatever fucking reason.
It's Thomas' top 5
Yeah,
for a reason.
like,
He gets to decide.
I mean...
I don't have any say in it.
No, if someone like... For example, this is someone I can guarantee you is not on my top 5 and probably will never be. But like if CJ Parker did something fucking incredibly stupid that I just thought was hilarious, he might get a spot on my top 5.
He did bring out the debut of Solomon Crow.
Yeah.
Which was cool.
That's something. But Parker's not on my top 5.
Nope.
Because I don't like him.
And neither is Solomon Crow because he hasn't really done much yet.
Yeah, Kevin Hawk likes Solomon Crow a lot. I just haven't seen anything out of him except for his one really cool splash that he did.
Yeah, oh yeah. So
Oh, and also, by the by, Solomon Crow did save a woman from a flipped car.
Yeah.
So...
I'm surprised we didn't mention that
earlier. He
honorable mention right there.
I kind of forgot about it. So yes, honorable mentions for my top 5. You didn't make the cut, mostly because I forgot that I read that. Because that was like in the beginning of the week.
You're a hero.
But yeah, I read that on like Monday or Tuesday, and it's fucking Friday now, so.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah. Alright, so, and as per usual, no repeats from last week, or from last month, and it's not really in a specific order.
No.
Sometimes it will be.
Yeah.
And if it happens to end up being in order, he'll let you know.
Yeah, there's like kind of a loose order, but not strictly.
Alright, so we starting at 5 or we starting at 1?
Whichever.
Who's number 5?
Okay. Rhino.
Yeah.
Who returned to just fucking destroy like he does.
Poor Elias Sampson.
Yeah.
You didn't deserve it.
And then
you did a good job.
A good face-to-face with Finn Balor afterward, hinting to maybe a match.
And a really fired up promo about how excited he is to be on it. That is something right there.
Yeah.
That when Rhino, who was a forefront in ECW, decides, I want to revitalize my career and be in NXT.
Yeah.
Triple H, you're doing good things.
No, I feel like this was a subtle way to compare NXT to ECW.
Yeah.
With Rhino saying, I everywhere I go I hear about NXT, so I want to come down and see what all the hype is about.
Yeah, and attributing it to like the same passion and desire that he's got. All these people in NXT have it also.
Yeah, so good things on the horizon there. So many matches I want to see out of this. Like Rhino versus Bull Dempsey and Rhino versus Kevin Owens are my 2 big ones.
Baron Corbin would be
Baron Corbin, yeah. I don't know. I want to see Kevin Owens and Rhino just punch each other.
And I mean, like you said, we could have hinted at Rhino versus Finn Balor.
Yeah.
So I'm totally down for that because I love Finn Balor. I've always been a fan of Rhino.
Yeah.
So let's do it.
Speaking of Finn Balor, my next person on my list is the man who wrestled Finn Balor on NXT this last week, the Brian Kendrick.
Yeah, not just Brian Kendrick. The Brian Kendrick. He's the man with the plan.
Yeah.
And the post-apocalyptic scavenger.
Yeah.
That's a name that I was not aware of, but hey, go for it.
Doesn't surprise me though, knowing the kind of person Brian Kendrick is. He says some fucking weird shit.
Yeah. Especially in this particular gimmick.
According to him, this is something he really said. According to him, the sun isn't hot. It's a conspiracy theory he has. That the sun isn't actually hot.
Alright.
Yeah, I don't know. But no, it's just an awesome gimmick. I'm sad that he didn't have the split down the middle jacket like he used to.
That's such a weird.
I know, but it fits him
But
perfectly.
he did have that really cool white
Yeah.
jacket with like the slash marks in the back.
Yeah, it was cool.
Watching the promo package that they did for him before, like earlier in the show, I forgot all the different things that he wore. He had like the spiked vest
Yeah.
and everything. He's got some weird stuff, man.
But no, he had a fucking killer match with Finn Balor.
Hell yeah.
That was only slightly interrupted by the focus on Kevin Owens, which I'm not going to complain too much. I like Kevin Owens, but
It was necessity for the storyline
Yeah.
because they are building towards a match with Finn Balor. So
yeah, but yeah, just fucking awesome showing by Brian Kendrick. Good to see him return. Him and Rhino, they're gonna be fun to watch in NXT.
Definitely.
Good things in the future of those two young prospects.
Yeah. I see a main roster run.
Yeah. Maybe Brian Kendrick could be a tag team champion.
I wish they had the hardcore title because I feel like Rhino would just own that.
Yeah. And number 3.
Right, smack dab in the middle.
Yeah, I like number 3 a lot.
Number three's number 3 regardless. Doesn't matter which direction you go.
Because I don't always know which direction I'm going to count.
But 3 is going to be there for you.
But 3, it's the same no matter what. And 3, this week I like a lot because it's the new women's champion, Sasha Banks.
It's my NXT wife.
Yeah, she has earned this. She is a fantastic heel. And, she was good when NXT first arrived to the network. But I feel like we've watched her get steadily better as time went on.
Definitely. I remember initially seeing her, I thought, okay, this is going to be another one of those pretty divas that comes through. She's okay, but we never really get what we want from her.
Right.
And boy, was I fucking wrong.
Yeah.
And I'm glad I was.
Honorable mentions go to everyone else who was involved in that women's match.
Charlotte's been on the top 5.
Yeah.
Bailey was on the top 5 last month. Becky, I'm sure, eventually will be on one.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
the fact that she hasn't been is just a testament to how good the other women are on NXT.
Well, Becky, this was really Becky's breakout.
Yeah.
So, she's on her way. It just, she hasn't had that
Yeah,
moment
so,
yet.
maybe look out for her next month.
Yep. Let's see what happens.
Moving on, we're still down in NXT because it's Finn Balor.
Goddamn right. Finn fucking Balor.
I mean, he gets on this list for one move alone that he's been doing, and it's that fucking murder dropkick in the corner.
Shit whip dropkick.
That killed Hideo Itami. I'm pretty sure he's a zombie now.
Yeah, it didn't really do any favors for the Brian Kendrick either.
No.
He took a pretty gnarly one as well.
Yeah.
Finn Balor, I didn't realize I was going to like him as much as I did.
Yeah.
Because I've seen his entrances, in some of his matches as, Prince Devitt, Fergal Devitt, whatever his name was in whatever promotion he was doing. He's had some great matches. And I thought, okay, it'll be cool to see him in WWE, but it'll be different, Yeah. That's the great thing about NXT is they're not that much different.
Right.
They're able to keep the key elements that make these characters interesting on the indies and make it a WWE version of that.
Right.
And he upped his paint for Rival.
Yeah.
He's becoming more and more of this demon or whatever it is, which I'm guessing maybe that's derived from Balor because Balor is the demon part of his name. He's just such a raw raw person in the ring. He's just so fucking good.
And speaking of his entrance, Triple H said this on his interview, on his podcast with Stone Cold, where, he was explaining entrances to Finn and, kind of the inner workings of it, and Finn just, had that moment of realization. And if you go back and watch his old entrances, it's true. You can see it. Because they were all cool.
Mm-hmm.
But this is the first one that it was actually, a statement of, this is who I am. This is a presence. This is a persona. This entrance is all part of the act. It's not just something I thought of that was cool. This is my character coming out.
Yeah, I mean, one of the ones that I recently watched again was he came out as Bane.
Yeah.
From The Dark Knight Rises.
Yeah, like someone put Bane in the dryer.
Yeah, and he shrank.
Yeah.
But still very imposing.
Right.
But the whole thing was his regular music was playing, and then it and then it shuts off, and then you hear a Bane quote from the movie, and then it goes into the music again. While this is happening, you have two cops come up, and they're looking around on the stage trying to find out what's going on. He comes out as Bane, whoops the shit out of him, a la Dark Knight Rises, and that's his entrance, which is cool. But given the time and thought of maybe adding the theatrics to it, could have been even better.
Yeah.
Which is exactly what he's getting in NXT. He has the most intricate entrance I've seen since The Undertaker.
Yeah, his entrance is a performance in of itself.
Yes. And like you said, it makes a statement about who he is before he even gets in the ring.
Well, and I like that he does kind of the same motions every time, but he does basically have two different entrances.
Yeah, I can't remember who it was I was listening to on a podcast, but they said that I think it was Dean Ambrose. He was on Jericho's podcast. He said that I don't always do the same entrance when I'm coming out for a match. It really depends on what the situation is, who I'm facing. I'm gonna change it up because I'm not gonna have the same walk if I'm going to do a promo or if I'm going to whoop somebody's ass.
Yeah,
it's completely different. And so even though you have the similarities between the two entrances, there's always slight differences.
Right.
He always does something different. The music doesn't always stop at the same spot. There's different things. It just depends on the situation.
Yeah. More specifically to this month, though, why he got on, because we just kind of we lost track just talking about how great Finn Balor is.
Yeah. He also had a bust-ass fucking match with Adrian Neville.
And you know what? New #1 contender for the NXT title.
You're goddamn right.
Again, honorable mention, Kevin Owens. You're awesome. NXT champion. Arguably should be here, but, it's who I like better, and I just like these people a lot. And I like you too, and I just don't, it's hard for me.
It's okay, Thomas. You'll be fine. You're not gonna get package powder.
No, it's just so emotional. I can only pick 5, and I like so many wrestlers.
Be sure to look forward to next month when we debut the Thomas's Top 10.
Top 100. Just
top NXT
everyone.
roster.
Yeah. No, now, moving on. Not Kevin Owens, as you can probably tell by my heartfelt
Congratulations to Finn Balor for taking spot number 2.
Moving on to the final spot. We're going to step away from NXT because we've spent a lot of time here. A lot of really fun time.
You know what? That in itself is a reason why this person deserves this spot.
Yeah.
Because they broke away from the NXT mold.
But this next person, he's someone from the main roster. Someone who's always entertaining. Someone who's a really good wrestler, but, maybe hasn't gotten the right chance to shine.
People usually give this person a lot of flack because, he's kind of regulated to certain things.
Right.
And he's not able to show his full potential.
Right, but the past, Raw and SmackDown, he's really been able to kind of be himself.
Yeah.
Go back a little bit to a time when we appreciated him more. Under a different gimmick that was short-lived. Got him, main events, a couple main event spots. Number 1 is R-Truth.
What's up?
Because, oh my god, he's just fucking hilarious.
2 shows.
Yeah.
In 1 week, and he's made the top spot on Thomas's Top 5. That is a testament to how funny this guy is.
Yeah, I often forget how much I like R-Truth, because they don't
highlight him.
Right, I've always liked him. From his when he debuted as K-Quick and wasn't necessarily like the most polished wrestler.
Yeah. He was
but
still up and coming.
he was still entertaining. He was really athletic. He was teaming with Road Dogg. They had their rap thing, and it was pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
His TNA days where he was a fucking star.
2 Live Crew, 3 Live Crew. He
Yeah.
won the TNA World Heavyweight title.
Yep. NWA champion.
NWA champion. Yeah.
Yeah. Then, you know, he comes to WWE, teams with John Morrison for a little while. That's cool. But then he really got to break out and be his own when he became Conspiracy Truth.
And you know, not to really overshadow that, but he did have a really good run with Miz.
Yeah.
Going against John Cena and The Rock.
Yeah, but that was still kind of during the Conspiracy Truth era. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I guess it was.
Yeah. But then since then hasn't even been really treading water. He's just kind of holding on to a life preserver.
Yeah.
But you know they decided.
Take off those baggy pants, you'll float better.
Yeah, probably.
Not that I want you to take your pants off. I'm trying to save your life.
Take your pants off. I need to save your life.
Keep talking, Thomas. I'm
Treading water.
digging this hole deeper. Bad.
Yeah. Anyway. But no, like. So they decided. I don't know why. Well, I mean, okay, he got a win over Wade Barrett.
Yep.
It
was last week on SmackDown.
Yeah. That was pretty cool. Surprised everyone. And then they decided to have him on commentary a couple times this week.
Monday and Thursday.
Yeah, and fucking, he was just hilarious.
Yeah, you know, we were all kind of taken aback when he was on commentary for some reason that we didn't understand on Monday.
Right.
And then and then it was brought to our attention, oh, okay, he did beat Wade Barrett.
Right.
Barrett was in the match. Okay, so this makes sense. He is entitled to an Intercontinental title match.
Yeah.
He beat the champion. And then he starts to be a little funny, and then we have the whole thing with Ambrose.
Yep.
You know, all that stuff. And then we got him on commentary again for SmackDown, and then he just ramps up the funny by calling Byron Saxton coach, stealing the title for himself, and then his funny backstage thing with Dean. You have literally 2 shows, and we're like, holy crap!
Yeah,
we do love our truth.
Yeah, just give this guy a mic. Like, I don't even care. Like, let's just have a alternate version of Raw and SmackDown that's just like riff tracked by our truth the whole time. Put that.
Let's have him on commentary instead of Michael Cole.
Yeah.
Be him, King, and Byron Saxton, aka Coach.
Yeah. and then they can have Coach come back for one night and he can call him Byron the whole time.
And Byron will be Coach's stunt double.
Yeah. But that is it for my top 5 for this week. You know, it's just I like wrestling. I like fun wrestlers. And I don't really care if you disagree.
Because it's not your top 5.
Yeah.
It's Thomas's top 5.
If you have a top 5, post in the comments.
Yeah. Post down in the comments, you know, do you agree with his top 5? Who would you put on a top 5? You know, maybe take some of who he picked and replace the ones that you don't agree with.
Yeah, I mean, like, honestly, you can disagree with me. That's your right.
Mm-hmm.
You can't tell me I'm wrong because it's my top 5.
Yeah.
Get your own top 5. Let's compare. Let's talk about it. Let's see who deserves it.
But post your own top 5 video using the hashtag #TheWrestlingRundown, and we'll compare notes.
Yeah.
Follow us on Twitter, which you can find down in the description.
Yeah.
You can find our Facebook. You can post a video on our Facebook page.
Yeah, do that.
Talking to us about how you feel about Thomas's top 5 and who is on your top 5. But that is it. That's the last video of the week. Last video of episode 37. Except for the indie news that me and Kevin Hawk will be doing this weekend. But on top of that, next week we're going to be having Streak Week, which I believe it's your pick.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah, it is. It's your pick next week for Streak Week. I'm pretty sure Kevin Hawk will be back with us next week, hopefully, and he'll be returning the 5 matches to Indie News. And we'll be having some more build towards. We're getting closer and closer to WrestleMania. It's right around the freaking. We're like 31 days away from WrestleMania.
Yeah, this is exciting.
Of course, by the time you watch this, granted, if it's before Mania, we're like 20-some days away.
Yeah, when you watch this, it'll be however long away from.
Or
whatever.
a lot of days post WrestleMania.
I don't know, maybe you're watching this in like 5 years from now. Maybe like 5 years from now we got super popular and you're just now discovering us, so you go back and you're like...
And we're 30 days away from WrestleMania 36.
Yeah, and you're like, I want to see some of their older stuff, but you don't want to go like too far back, so you're like, 37, that sounds like a good number.
37 is a nice round number.
Yeah.
Thanks for watching. Like, favorite, subscribe. Be sure to share us with your friends. Get in on the discussion. We like to talk wrestling. Check out the Facebook page where we have daily WWE trivia, weekend trivia questions. We like to post stuff. Sometimes we'll post updates from pay-per-views.
Yeah.
We like to have some fun on there. Lots of cool pictures from the trivia stuff. So be sure to check that out. Thanks again for watching the Wrestling Rundown. We will see you next week.